I was done. Anyways, this next piece is called Behind the Clouds, and it's a bit more abstract, you know, it's not as clear as the last piece, so I think it's going to mean something different to each one of you, and so, you know, just take it however you want to take it. So remember that name was called Behind the Clouds, because that ties into a metaphor at the end. I wrote this piece like last summer, and like the last piece, I'm sure some of you guys have heard it during Islam Awareness Week, but this one's new, so none of you have heard it before. We wield the flaming torches of hope. We are the readers of the lines, the pursuers of the signs, extending our longing gaze towards that dark horizon, waiting for those bright rays of sunshine. As we stand here amidst this ocean of shadows and darkness, drowning amongst masses of these so-called people, so corrupt and heartless, raging at me from all directions, temptations emanating from this God-forsaken nation where ideals are spread with bullets and bombs, and innocent children are born to single, struggling, drug addict moms, and it makes my heart pain and blister when I see this mister flipping off my own sister just because she wears a scarf from which she refuses to part, which protects her, liberates her, frees her, allows her to show the beauty within, not the lust upon her skin, refusing to sell herself as an object, a commodity of sin. And I wonder why in God's name do we strive so hard to gain admission into this place where they claim that you have freedom of religion, but as soon as you make a decision to embark on your moral mission, they will shut down your game and imprison the people who teach you. They will cut out your brains with precision, and I don't mean by surgical incisions. Your politicians have gotten you names and revisions for your provisions that you had for your visions. That mosque, you're not building that mosque, we're shutting it down, so listen. You're going to shed tears if you have a beard, and if your skin color is different, then you have got a lot to fear. Plus, you got to worry about your kids smoking weed and drinking beer, plus other relations they may have. Things are not always what they appear to be, so they scream at me. If you have issues with everything you see, how about you just leave? And so I leave, but as soon as I step onto the sand of my homeland and walk out on the street, I start choking and cannot breathe. I am suffocated and blinded from all the smoke and steam arising from this industrious material scene where people are always chasing cars and money and all these things that they want but don't really need. I cannot believe what I see. Over here, a child's biggest fear is getting a spank. Somewhere else, it's gun soldiers and that giant tank taking your flank. Bam! There goes mommy and daddy, and they ain't coming back. Somewhere else is fear of attack from that whip when it goes crack onto the back of that poor kid forced into a mine, digging for that kind of rocks that shine. You know, those blood diamonds that we get for in line for our wives. Are we really thinking about what we're buying? No? Fine, then be a hypocrite. Go out and drink your Starbucks. Go drink that poisonous wine. But know this, as long as that goes, that keffiyeh you wear around your neck is a lie. And you can get on a plane and fly around the world and you might find comfort, but for every single happy person you find, there are 100 people crying, 1,000 people starving, and 1,000,000 people dying. And you can blame it on the politicians and their governments, but they're only able to because of your dollar signs. You're filthy hypocritical. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize for the fury behind my lines. I get kind of passionate sometimes when I rhyme. It's just that people always tell me not to worry, that everything will be fine, but I can't buy that unless we're seeing the end of time. And I keep thinking, God, what about the signs? I can't just turn away and pretend to be blind. And I do want to make a difference, but I do realize that here we are. Under the shadowy clouds, I stand here again, and despite the hopeful weather forecast, it would be foolish for me to pretend that we are not standing in the midst of a storm. Except for those of us who would rather offend our own intelligence and our minds, all these other facts they would contend. So, that beacon of light in my heart is my friend. So I extend my palms and intend to ask, my Lord, I cannot wield a sword, I can merely hold a pen. So who will save us? For I am not a leader of men. It's hard to believe in what I have never seen. Are you really telling me that it only needs 313? Wow, then perhaps it is the duty of all of us to be all that we can be and please the one who created you and me. For some of us, the flames of hope are merely candles. Small dots of light in what appears to be an eternally dark night. Yet every day my candle will flicker and the voices in my mind will again begin to bicker, but the voice of the divine light will shine through. Look up to the sky. Just look up to the sky. And so I look up to the sky. And even though I can't see the sun, I know it's there.